as a female in next life, I like to look like her.
Really?
Because she's got like 1,000 faces in just one face.
You know what? I can see some resemblance in a way.
Me and her?
Yeah.
That's a compliment right there.
It
I like
is,
that.
of
Thank you.
course.
Appreciate it.
All right. So, I mean, such a strong cast, definitely worth watching. But we have our second piece waiting for us, right?
Right.
What's our second piece?
Gonna pick 3. Second one is called 우주를 줄게, Your Universe. And this one is basically about romantic drama, raising a little kid named Uju. So like the name, like the title of the drama, it's about Uju. And Uju means like a universe, you know, like a
Right.
galaxy in Korean. But this one has a little bit of word pun. But you might wonder what's going on with the universe and Uju. So I brought you a trailer and let's take a look.
Let's.
내가 전부였던 내 우주 속에
또 다른 우주가
뚝 떨어졌다.
우주야!
우리 부부인 거야?
아니?
우리 아가씨랑 뭔 사이요?
사돈?
Right? So as you see in the trailer, this whole drama is basically not only about just a young woman and man falling in love, but it's about nephew named Uju, the universe. So, well, there's a little sad story behind it. Well, this little boy, Uju, lost his father and mother in an accident. So their brother and sister decided to raise Uju instead of him because he's got no guardian to take care of him. So they decided to take care of him together. And then they, eventually move in together and fall in love.
Oh, okay. So the boy, Uju, wasn't their child, but their nephew.
Right.
And they decide to raise them together.
It's not their kids,
Right,
but
right.
their parents. The parents of Uju passed away, so they decided to take care of him. And the uncle is very, he's stick with the books, how to raise kids. And the aunt is very clumsy, and she doesn't really know what she's doing, but she loves him for definitely sure. So, there's a little bit of trouble going, but they fall in love.
All right. Well, I'm looking very much forward to this drama as well because the stars who are featuring in this drama are very famous and attention is put onto these high teen stars
That's
as
right.
well. But it seems like their personalities seem quite the opposite. Parenting must be pretty hard.
Right. It's
looking
got to
at
be
them.
fun, definitely,
Yeah.
to see their, little confrontation. But you are going to love the last one the most. This is my personal favorite right here. It's called Bloody Flower. It was actually revealed. It was released. All the episodes was released on 4th of February simultaneously. So it's definitely perfect for binge watch craze. And this specific drama has very groundbreaking setting premise right here with a concept of the serial killer has supernatural ability to cure all the terminal illnesses.
What? Really?
I know, right? It's
okay,
crazy.
so there's a little bit of fantasy element in the drama.
So it's like an irony to see a serial killer can possibly
Exactly.
cure and save all the other people's lives.
Very contradictory.
This is right. It is very, very irony and hypocrite somehow. But this is a kick of it. So let's take a look at the trailer.
Okay.
남은 10명 어디에 유기했어?
하체에서 피를 다 뽑아냈어요.
그건 전혀 중요한 게 아닌데. 저는 불치병 치료제를 만들고 있었어요.
I always love a
이은겸이
good
변호사님을
thriller.
선임하고 싶다네. 널 변호 안 한다네.
그럴 일 없을걸요.
우리 민서 어떡해?
다시 건강해질 거야. 내가 꼭 그렇게 만들 거고.
So this one is based on an original novel 죽음의 꽃, The Flower of Death. So like I said, it's a thrill. It's a thrill to watch those killers, try to kill, and the killers at the same try to save. So people try to take advantage of this killer right here. That's the fun of it. So make sure to watch all these three's gonna speak.
Oh my gosh. So all three of these, they're in different genres as well. The last one was a thriller. I guess that's my personal favorite among the three picks that you brought today, Konu. But thank you so much, as always, for all the hot news and the main issues. Now, we are going to take a listen to our last song for it before we sign off. But this last song is by Chung Ha-woo, who made a comeback just yesterday on the 9th, celebrating her birthday as well with the
song. It was
song.
her birthday yesterday.
Yeah, it was her birthday, and she made a comeback after one whole year. So let's listen to that song. It's Save Me by Chung Ha. But do join us again tomorrow for more culture to crunch on. As always, thank you so much, Konu, for all those hot issues.
Press Gono on duty, guys. Thank you very much for having me.
All right. Well, we'll see you again next week. Shall we say goodbye together, Konu?
All right, let's do it.
All right. 안녕.
안녕.
Keep crunching.
Lately I've been floating through the night, searching for the life I left behind. When did everything start changing? All the memories get around. I'm running through the seasons of my life. But what if I'm hurting? What if I need someone when gravity's falling down? Will you be the one? You be the one. What if I'm hurting? What if I need someone? I don't wanna let you down. Will you be the one? You be the one to save me. Will you be the one? You be the one to save me. Will you be the one? You be the one to save me. Lonely Saturn years pass on my space, tracing down the life I can't replace. I'll orbit in a new direction, carry living all on my own. I'll never let the sunlight fade away. I'm okay, but what if I'm hurting? What if I need someone when gravity's falling down? Will you be the one? You be the one. What if I'm hurting? What if I need someone? I don't wanna let you down. Will you be the one? You be the one to save me. Will you be the one? You be the one to save me. Will you be the one? You be the one to save me. Holding on to hope, every high and low. Don't know where I'll go, but I'm changing. Heal it all alone. Found the antidote. One day I'll just know that I'll see it written in the stars. Right when my heart just learns to start. 'Cause I am the light that kills the dark. I'll find me. But what if I'm hurting? What if I need someone when gravity's falling down? Will you be the one? You be the one to save me.
How to survive in Korea. Cafes. Step 1. Find a seat. Before ordering, find a seat. Laptop ID, smartphone, jacket, whatever that can mark your territory. But no bites. It's a little too big. Step 2. Pick up. We do not ask or call your name. We call out, B69 고객님. The buzzer will vibrate when your order is ready at the counter. Wait, got your straw? Keep the top of the wrapper on. Doing this is more hygienic. Step 3. Cafe etiquette. If you need to use your laptop, find a seat next to a socket. No extra charge for using electricity. But if you're staying over 3 hours, how about ordering another drink or dessert? Step 4. Last bite standing. There's a mysterious custom in Korea. The last bite standing. When there's about 1 bite left of that cake, nobody will go for it. You might be tempted, but don't be hasty. Right before you get up, take the last piece saying that you simply can't waste food, or just leave it. It will save a few calories. Did you survive at the cafe? Did someone behind the counter catch your eye? Go for the same drink every single day.
오늘도 아이스 말차 라떼 드실 거죠?
You might make an impression.
From breaking news in South Korea to stories from around the world, we're here to bring you the news that matters.
Truth, clarity, and impartiality. And that's what we uphold in a fast-changing world.
We go beyond the headlines, offering depth, context, and perspective.
This isn't just news, it's our commitment. News you trust. Arirang News.
Introducing Korean broadcast content that you won't be able to stop watching. For weary modern souls, Dr. Romantic, the quirky genius doctor of Puldam Hospital, prescribes heartwarming tales of humanity. A couple together for 7 years sees their rose-tinted glasses shatter. Can they keep their relationship alive? Discover the raw stories of youth, work, and love. Beyond what social media can show, experience the vibrant Korea through its hidden gems. Mama, the ultimate K-pop festival for global fans. Find your star in a feast of trendy music and electrifying performances. Now, the whole world enjoys it together.
President Lee Jae-myung held a cabinet meeting this morning and criticized the National Assembly, saying it's extremely difficult to keep up with global changes at the current pace of legislation. The Health Ministry is set to decide how much to expand medical school enrollment for 5 years, starting in 2027, amid mounting opposition from doctors' groups. The move comes as the government estimates the country could face a shortage of up to 4,800 doctors by 2037. South Korean snowboarder Yoo Sung-eun won the bronze medal in the women's big air final on her Olympic debut. The 18-year-old is the first South Korean athlete to win a medal in snowboard big air, since it was first adopted as an official Olympic event in 2018. Hello and thanks for joining us on Arirang News. President Lee Jae-myung has called for a faster legislation process in the face of a changing global order. Speaking at a cabinet meeting this morning, Lee said he sees it difficult to actively deal with changes in the global order with lawmaking at current speed. He added that South Korea is facing high global instability and fierce competition and called for national unity. The president noted that the country is in dire need of laws to carry out trade deals with foreign nations and push ahead with regulatory reform. Over at the National Assembly, lawmakers are holding 3 days of sessions for questioning government officials, set to run through Wednesday. The parliament has agreed to form a special committee to speed up legislation tied to Seoul's $350 billion investment commitments in the United States amid renewed tariff pressure from the Trump administration. Our An Sung-jin reports.
The National Assembly this week kicked off 3 days of questioning government officials. The first day on Monday focused on politics, diplomacy, unification, and national security, with ministers from relevant government departments appearing before the National Assembly to answer questions about policy. Monday's session was particularly centered on questions regarding measures on U.S. tariffs. The ruling Democratic Party highlighted its credentials as a competent governing party, emphasizing progress on diplomacy, including the APEC Economic Leaders meeting. Meanwhile, the main opposition People Power Party challenged the administration over high inflation and exchange rates, questioning the effectiveness of the government's so-called pragmatic diplomacy. On the same day during the plenary session, by bipartisan agreement, lawmakers passed a motion that approves the formation of a special committee to discuss measures on the proposed Special Act on Strategic Investment with the U.S., which drafts Korean investment in the United States under a Korea-U.S. Tariff Agreement MOU.
Both negotiating parties made a decision to unite around national interests. I would like to notify the U.S. government that the South Korean National Assembly is discussing the legislation with a strong commitment to swift action while fully adhering to domestic laws.
The committee will consist of 16 members, 8 from the ruling DP, 7 from the main opposition PPP, and 1 from a non-negotiating parliamentary bloc. Lawmakers look to pass the bill by consensus within a month before the committee mandate expires on March 9th. This move comes as South Korea faces continued tariff pressure from the Trump administration over what he calls stalled legislative efforts related to investment in the U.S. With the tightly scheduled questioning, the National Assembly is bracing for an intense round of partisan confrontations. With the June 3rd local elections approaching, the sessions will likely serve as a preview for an intensifying political showdown. An Sung-jin, Arirang News.
The Health Ministry is set to decide this afternoon how many additional medical school seats to add, a move that faces strong backlash from doctors. The government has been pushing to increase quotas outside the capital region, as it estimates the country could face a major shortage of doctors over the next decade. Our Park Gun-woo explains more.
Additional admissions for 32 regional medical schools outside Seoul for 5 years from 2027 are set to be decided by the Health Ministry on Tuesday. The decision will be made at a meeting of the Health and Medical Policy Committee, which will be followed by a briefing where officials are expected to announce their conclusion. The Health Ministry said last week that South Korea could face a shortage of around 4,800 doctors by 2037. Because of that, officials say around 4,200 additional doctors are needed through expanded medical school admissions. The figure excludes about 600 doctors expected to be supplied each year by a future public medical school and newly established regional medical schools by 2030. The increase is expected to be implemented under the regional doctor system, which selects students from non-metropolitan areas and requires them to work in public and essential medical sectors in regions with limited access to healthcare for at least a decade. During the meeting, officials are expected to decide the annual scale of the increase and the exact number of additional seats. However, the Korean Medical Association is expected to hold an emergency press conference after the Health Ministry's briefing on Tuesday in opposition to the plan. The group has urged the government to halt the expansion, arguing that the calculations lack sufficient scientific evidence and that the decision is being rushed. The government aims to finalize the plan by the end of this week, so universities can announce their early admissions guidelines by May. 박건우, Arirang News.
And South Korea's defense ministry is pushing to enact a special law to support the development of nuclear-powered submarines, saying current related laws are limited to civilian use. The ministry said this morning that it commissioned a study on drafting a dedicated law for the program. It says existing defense and nuclear safety laws lack provisions for nuclear submarines, making a tailored special law necessary. Officials say a separate legal framework is needed to manage military nuclear propulsion, including safety rules, security, and radioactive material control. The project gained momentum after last year's South Korea-US summit, where Washington expressed support and pledged close cooperation, including on fuel supply. Meanwhile, the South Korean Air Force aerobatic team, the Black Eagles, have delivered a high-intensity aerial performance in Saudi Arabia. Their aerial displays at the 2026 World Defense Show on Monday marked the Black Eagles' first appearance at a Middle Eastern defense exhibition. Choreography to Golden, from the animated hit K-pop Demon Hunters and to the traditional Korean folk song Arirang. The performance included a 360-degree roll and symmetrical maneuvers. At the climax of the show, the Black Eagles released white smokes to create the taeguk pattern, the central symbol of the South Korean flag. The South Korean economy appears to be on the path to recovery as domestic consumption rebounds. Analysts also say that the recent rise in the Kospi index has encouraged more spending, even though some sectors continue to struggle. Our Kim Do-yeon reports.
South Korea's state-run think tank, the Korea Development Institute, has reaffirmed that the economy is on a recovery path, driven largely by a rebound in domestic consumption and the service sector. In its February economic trends report released Monday, the KDI also stated that a moderate increase in production is being maintained. This assessment aligns with the Institute's shift in tone last November when it moved away from diagnosing the economy as sluggish or weak, terms used frequently between May and October of last year, to focusing on improvement. The data backs this optimism. Retail sales in December climbed 1.2% compared to the same period the previous year, continuing an upward trend for the fourth consecutive month. A significant 12.6% jump in passenger vehicle sales helped drive these figures. This also has to do with the recent historic rise in the Kospi, some analysts say, as the sentiment also goes up.
When the stock market performs well and prices rise, we typically see a wealth effect. As the value of assets held by stock owners increases, we view this as a key factor that stimulates consumption.
Mirroring this consumption, service sector production rose 3.7%, marking 11 straight months of growth. The gains were broad-based with significant increases in wholesale and retail trade, as well as the professional, scientific, and technical sectors. Thanks to this service-led momentum, overall industrial production grew 1.8% in December. However, the recovery is not uniform. The manufacturing sector remains a weak link, contracting by 0.3%. The KDI noted that despite strong demand, semiconductor production was limited by supply constraints, while the auto sector faced headwinds from U.S. tariffs. More concerning is the continued slump in investment. Facility investment plummeted 10.3% in December, the sharpest decline since August 2023. The construction sector also remains in a prolonged downturn, with completed construction projects dropping by nearly 15% in the fourth quarter. Ultimately, while sluggish investment and construction weigh on the outlook, the KDI maintains that improving income conditions from the semiconductor cycle and strong consumer sentiment are supporting the broader economic recovery. Kim Do-yeon, Arirang News.
Iran says it could consider diluting its stockpile of uranium enriched if all international sanctions are fully lifted. The statement comes as Iran and the United States resume nuclear negotiations, with Oman serving as mediator. Our Lee Seung-jae has the details.
Iran says any decision to dilute its 60% enriched uranium will depend entirely on the lifting of all sanctions as nuclear diplomacy with the United States resumes after months of pause. Speaking in Tehran on Monday, the head of the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran, Mohammad Eslami, said dilution of highly enriched uranium is not currently on the agenda. He stressed that such a step would only be considered if sanctions on Iran are fully removed. He also rejected recent speculation about transferring enriched uranium out of Iran, calling those reports pressure-driven narratives. He said the idea was not part of Iran's plans and may have been suggested by outside parties who believed it could help. Officials from the two sides met for a new round of negotiations on Friday and signaled that more discussions are likely in the near future. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian said the renewed talks present a chance for a fair and balanced resolution to the nuclear issue. He urged Washington to avoid what he called excessive demands, indicating Tehran wants a more equal framework in negotiations.
The new round of nuclear negotiations, which have begun in Oman with the assistance and support of our friends, presents a very good opportunity to resolve this issue in a fair, logical, equitable and mutually acceptable manner.
Tehran's top security official Ali Larijani is scheduled to visit Muscat on Tuesday. Oman has been mediating between Tehran and Washington, with Friday's talks in Muscat marking the first formal engagement between the two sides in nearly 8 months. According to Iran's state news agency, he will meet senior Omani officials to discuss regional and international developments. The specifics of the meeting have not been revealed, but details about future talks with Omani mediators will likely be on the agenda. Lee Seung-jae, Arirang News.
A nearly 1,000-year-old Korean poetic tradition took center stage on a global digital platform this weekend. World Sijo Poetry Day, established to honor the legacy of the Goryeo-era master Utak, celebrated its second anniversary with AI-generated melodies to recitations in over 10 different languages. Our Chung Il-im reports.
The Sejong Cultural Society successfully hosted the second annual World Sijo Poetry Day celebration on February 7th. Broadcast live via YouTube and Facebook, the event showcased Sijo not just as a Korean relic, but as a living, breathing international art form. The event brought together poets and artists from across continents, highlighting the globalization of Sijo. For the opening, Sijo from two Korean masters, Hwangjini Im Jung-hwan and Sijo Chang poetry accompanied by bamboo flute and drum by Yang Sa-eun were performed. The following program featured Sijo written and recited in an array of native tongues. Beyond Korean and English, poets shared works in Hindi, Russian, Vietnamese, German, Isikosa, Portuguese, French, Lingala, and Spanish. These poets did more than translate. They adapted the 3-line, 45-syllable spirit of Sijo into the unique rhythms of their own languages. One of the highlights of the events was interviews with 95-year-old Allegra Silberstein and 91-year-old Marilyn D'Augustin, both of whom discovered a passion for Sijo late in life, proving that artistic growth has no expiration date.
And what's also fascinating about that is that, when you have to think about syllables, carving your language in a certain way, that's very beautiful.
This year's celebration also looked firmly toward the future. AI-generated Sijo songs, Still American and Letter Never Sent, introduced new musical interpretations. Students from Chicago's Taft High School also presented visual artwork, which offered fresh perspectives inspired by the poetry. With its 2026 celebration now concluded, organizers say the event reaffirmed that this form of poetry is not only surviving but continuing to adapt and inspire on the global stage. 정혜림, Arirang News.
Hello and welcome. I am your AI sports correspondent, Arirang. This section features AI-generated content and scripts bringing you the latest news from the Olympic Winter Games Milano Cortina 2026. Here are our top stories. South Korean snowboarder Yoo Seung-eun won the bronze medal in the women's big air final at Livingno Snow Park on Monday. Yoo recorded a combined score of 171.00 points after successfully landing to triple cork 1,440 maneuvers in her first two runs. Japan's Kokomo Murray took the gold medal with 179.00 points, while Zoe Sadowski-Synnott of New Zealand earned silver with 172.25 points. Yoo is the first South Korean athlete to win a medal in the big air event, which became an official Olympic sport at the 2018 Pyeongchang Games. This result marks the second medal for South Korea at these games, following a silver in the men's snowboard parallel giant slalom on Sunday. South Korean speed skater Lee Na-hyun placed ninth in the women's 1,000-meter race on Monday at the Milano Speed Skating Stadium. Lee completed the event in 1 minute, 15.76 seconds. Her ninth-place finish was the highest for a South Korean athlete in this distance. Judith Leerdam of the Netherlands secured the gold medal with an Olympic record time of 1 minute, 12.31 seconds. Fellow South Korean Kim Min-sun finished 18th. Both Lee and Kim are scheduled to compete in their primary event, the 500-meter race, this coming Sunday. South Korea's Jung Hae-sun is in 24th place after the first two runs of the women's singles luge on Tuesday. She posted a combined time of 1 minute 49.587 seconds at the Cortina Sliding Center. Jung is the only South Korean athlete competing in luge at these games and is making her first Olympic appearance. A mid-course collision with the track wall during the first heat reduced her speed, resulting in a last-place finish for that run, before she moved up one place after her second run. The final two runs take place on Wednesday. Ukrainian skeleton racer Vladislav Skebity said on Monday that an official from the International Olympic Committee had informed him that he cannot wear his custom helmet design. The helmet features portraits of Ukrainian athletes killed during the war. Skebity said the official cited as a potential violation of Rule 50 regarding political statements. However, the IOC has not yet issued a formal ban. The organization stated it had not yet received a formal approval request for the equipment from the Ukrainian National Olympic Committee. Before we head out, let's look ahead. Appearing now on your screen are the current medal standings and the upcoming schedule for the Olympic Winter Games Milano Cortina 2026.
It was nice to walk around with much milder temperatures on Monday afternoon under bright skies, but now we need to brace for winter precipitation. Rain and snow are expected across much of Korea with 5 to 15 millimeters of rainfall expected. But in colder inland regions and mountainous areas, it's going to snow instead. Mountainous regions of Jeju Island could see more than 10 centimeters of snowfall. Parts of Gangwon-do Province and Jeollabuk-do Province might get 1 to 5 centimeters of snowfall. However, along the East Coast, precipitation will be limited, making it difficult for dry weather alerts to be lifted. And this afternoon, Seoul will be getting up to 4 degrees Celsius. Daegu, Busan both topping out at 7 degrees Celsius with decent air quality nationwide. We don't need to worry about an extreme cold wave as temperatures will rise gradually toward the latter half of the week.
That's all we have for today's noon edition of Arirang News. Thank you for watching. We'll be back at 5 p.m. Korea time. Stay tuned.
Time to set the facts straight. Get Korea right.
여러분, 지금 보고 계신 이 모습 뭔지 아시나요? 바로 택견입니다. 안녕하세요. 저는 방크연구원 구승현입니다. 네, 여러분, 지금부터 제가 한국의 전통 무예인 택견에 대해 소개해 드릴게요.
홀세김 섞어라! 섰다!
택견은 유연하고 율동적인 동작인 품밟기라는 우리 고유의 독창적 보법을 중심으로 상대를 발로 차거나 넘기는 기술을 사용하는 무예예요. 그런데 택견을 보고는 전통춤이다, 기술연이다, 도검을 들고 한다, 이크에크 소리는 익살스러운 추임새다 라고 잘못 알고 계신 분들이 있어요. 택견에 대한 오류 정보 바로 잡아볼까요?